So, I am not having fun with Destiny 2, and I'm personally on the verge of quitting the game. My reasoning for this is because of Bungie's continued effort to make the skill floor effectively the skill ceiling. To explain what this means, in case anyone doesn't understand, and I'll do this 3 times, Bungie keep adding weapons such as shot package hand cannons and combinations like glaives with banner of war and feedback fence with effectively no counter, so that players who aren't very good at PvP or don't play PvP can compete with players that do play PvP on effectively the same level. And in case that didn't get my point across, I will quote an old kb&m video. In this case, the easiest options are actually the most powerful. So regardless of whether you're the worst player in the game or the best player in the game, when the objective is to win, this is going to be the only thing you're going to see. When you combine weapons that are this easy to use with such high reward, the depth of counter options and outplay potential is not there. As a result, this makes PvP become extremely stale extremely quickly because there's almost no incentive to improve to win, because you can get by holding W, running forward, picking out the weakest person in the crowd, and you tear up any player better than you because of the circumstances. Therefore, until I can figure out whether I want to just stop playing until they kill shot package hand cannons, one-hit glaives, and the like, I'm going to take another thing from kb&m and start doing live commentaries, so my YouTube channel is actually a reason to keep playing the game, as I do want to actually upload stuff here. The weapon reviews, though, feel incredibly redundant when everyone is going to be running around with the hard meta. So therefore, the live commentary style stuff gives me a way to still sort of do them or showcase weapons without feeling like I'm making something to just make it and throw it out there and then no one actually use anything from it. So today I'm going to be doing a couple of games. One where I'll be running Solemn Remembrance, a 140 RPM precision hand cannon, and a Mida macro tool, a 65 RPM precision shotgun as a good loadout, and then one where I'll be running Better Devils, a 140 RPM adaptive hand cannon, that's strand, so it makes shredlings, alongside Phonutria Ferra, I think that's how it's pronounced, the fabled Energy Slots 100 RPM shot package hand cannon that plagues my nightmares, as the hard meta loadout. So I hope you enjoy. If you want to see more live commentary stuff, like, comment, sub, let me know by just watching the video really, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so last game is alright, we'll see if this one's good. So, still an Arctitan. I've got Solemn Remembrance, Tier 5 version. I got it literally, like, this session, because I got to send in this session, and this dropped, so I'm happy with that. Then we've got Mida macro tool. It's got Discord on it again, like the sniper rifle. It's got closing time because it's the best perk. Somac, so I can fire a bit faster with Discord, it's quite nice. And then rifle barrel, so I have the best range. Handling doesn't really matter because we've got closing time that increases my handling. Fixes all that problem. Solemn is just the generic role. I realized I didn't explain that too much. This is basically just what you want. I would probably go with Smooth Baller if I had an option, and then honestly I'm going to keep the handling last work because the great thing about the Tier 5s is they give you way too good stats, so this is like 67 goes to 72, 52 or something goes to 64. It's crazy. These are way too good. I think it was actually 59. But hey, now this thing's basically on par with my Rose. I think it's exactly my Rose. It literally is. It is the same package as my Rose, which is crazy. So, yeah. We also got that with a crossbow. Just doesn't really matter what perk I use here. I could probably use High Ground, honestly, and I might be able to one-shot body people, but I've got a crossbow. If you haven't used them yet, I recommend it. They are broken. The main gimmick with these weapons is they're like linear fusions, to an extent. They're kind of not very good if you only have body shots, like the normal ones, obviously, not the broken ones, but they're like linear fusions. So if you hit body shots, by the way, yeah, ignore that point, go here. It will save you so many times. So, stuck the flux, he's dead. Nice. So, the main benefit with crossbows is you can pick up the bolts after you fire, which, if you don't know what that means, essentially, you have infinite heavy ammo. Which is as good as it sounds, as so long as you can aim. So long as you can aim and so long as you pick it up. So if you pick your targets well, and use heavy ammo well, you can go on a rerun using only heavy ammo, and I have done that because it was funny. And that's probably the best game I've got this season. By the way, don't do that. What I really should have done, if he was like a good player, right? What I should have done is shoulder charge backwards instead of running at him, but I didn't particularly think that guy was very good, considering he was randomly spamming an SMG into a corridor in the open, so... that did her. I didn't particularly rate him very highly, so I just ran at him with a shotgun. This is a bad place to be in, because I am unraveled, so I don't get to heal very much. My healing is delayed, and I've got two guys, both very not happy with me. And he's gonna just throw everything at me, so... back a bit further. He's not gonna push that, that's fine. Break the action grenade. Some grenades, same difference. So yeah, they're just gonna chase me, and that's a enemy flux. Enemy pulse, I should say. So... that's one of the many Destiny situations where you're just gonna do anything, so... oh well. I had two guys, not particularly great, but they had enough to throw at me to where it was a problem. And therefore I didn't do anything, but... seem to have denied them heavy ammo? I can't really tell. Honestly, I was expecting him to go for the rest of my team instead of running at us. I, like, knew that guy was there, I just wasn't paying attention to him. So, oh well. Gonna try going for him outside, we're gonna shoulder charge around that, but I think there's a guy who's about to chase me. Yes. So, turn around, shotgun him, there's another guy. And there you go. So... I'm not entirely sure what happened there myself. I think I killed him and then tried to put my shotgun away, so I was a bit delayed. But, oh well. Yeah, I just wasn't hitting this. So, that's the main problem with precision handguns, I feel, is despite being, like, extremely easy to use, like, if you're on console, if you struggle with handguns, this thing's gonna be amazing, right? But the problem with precision handguns for me, and why I've never liked using them, is if you crouch strafe, like I do, I pretty regularly crouch strafe, like that, to try and throw off single shot weapons. I gotta stick that as well for it. Unfortunately, his teammate backed off as soon as he saw the grenade, so in a double, but yeah. So the problem with these is I crouch strafe, usually to the left, and what that ends up doing when I'm, like, firing at max RPM is I suddenly block what I'm shooting. He's gonna walk at me. Luckily his cluster bombs didn't hit, but I'm still weak, I'm gonna barricade. So yeah, usually what I do is I'll, like, go left and then right. Or right and then left, I should say. Sorry. And then it'll end up blocking my POV, which is really bad. I'm gonna hope I get a stack. Nope. But am I kill him? No. He was too far. That was honestly just me getting distracted with talking, but yeah. So I just prefer using those. I would recommend crouch strafing. I don't see people do it enough, but if you crouch strafe at, like, a specific RPM, usually your RPM, or, like, a bit after your RPM, you completely throw people off. People just don't expect it if you crouch strafe, like, unpredictably. Or, like, at a certain RPM. It's when you're just like doing it at maximum crouch speed, it's like people just instantly pick up on that shit because it's like... And then you just throw off your own aim. So make sure you hit your shot, basically, is the easiest way to get into it. Make sure you hit your shot, crouch. I'm gonna sweep it up. And I get the ball. So what I can do now is I just killed that guy. And then I get my ball back. Which is very fun, as you will hopefully see. I hit the shot. There we go. And I get a stasis crystal, because this is the stasis one. It works exactly the same with the arc one, by the way. But this is the stasis one, the one you can get from the events. And you just get to do this until you somehow lose the heavy ammo. Because you will. It's not completely infinite. There we go, I missed the shot, so... But yeah, it's not completely infinite. It'll basically... The ball will last until you die, essentially. So I don't think I get the ammo anymore, but I could have just picked that up. Probably won't though, because otherwise this will just devolve into crossbow gameplay. Stick. And that's why flux grenades are OP, because if I see an opponent, I can just do that instead of playing the game. There, get that, get the free peeks, I'm gonna back off because he's pushing me. Nope, okay. No, I couldn't see his head very well because he was turned around. I'm gonna wait for him to rush at me. Nope. Reflex. Nistec? Nistec. I did hit him though. So I probably should have thrown that a bit higher. I keep like throwing them really high because I'm expecting normal grenades and then I throw them too low because I'm like, oh, it's a flux grenade. It just goes in a straight line. It does not go in exactly a straight line. So someone will rush. It took me a second to realize they were frozen. If they're frozen, just melee them. Genuinely. Oh. And that was a guy from behind. He got last kill. Unfortunate. But yeah, so main takeaways from this match. Use a crossbow. Because they're dumb and stupid, and I did go over a rerun with basically just the crossbow, and it was really fun. I think it was this loadout exactly, unlike Solar Hunter. Use precision frame 140s, primarily loot as how you can get it from the Brave Arsenal. Actually no, I don't think you can get it from the Brave Arsenal stuff anymore. You might be able to, but you can get it from collections. You're not forgotten from collections. The Lost Tributes thing, whatever it's called. And you also got this. If you use a precision hand cannon, just be careful about the crouching. Crouch strafe, preferably and predictably. And then, yeah, I mean that was a decent match. I didn't look at the results. They won't let me look at the results, but I think that was a decent match, so yeah. I'll use that one. Right, so this time we have the hard meta. I'm expecting this to go incredibly easily, so obviously my actual setup, not the meta, I would be using feedback funds. So we've got Better Devils, just a generic Better Devils, right? The main thing that makes this broken is this little perk here. Dealing strand damage has a chance to spawn a frontline. For some reason this works in PvP. And then we have a spread-shot hand cannon. I don't think I need to explain a spread-shot hand cannon. It's a shotgun, but it 2-taps and has infinite ammo. So let's play this game. This, I'm hoping, goes well, because it's a decent map. The guy dared to play the video game, so he was punished by using a shotgun hand cannon. And there you go. Immediately, why the Threadlings are silly. Next. Okay, so I can't tell if that's a guy who was over there, but it was definitely a player, because I guess the game decided to spawn me in a weird part of the map, so I was just fucked. The guy gets to play the game again. It's like so dumb! Genuinely. Genuinely, it is the most dumb thing. I'm gonna probably get a kill out of this. I might live, actually. No. Okay. Well, at least I didn't live. I was gonna be so annoyed if I looked that. Because I was just being genuinely stupid. I, like, ran into the enemy team and I was like, yeah, I'll just kill him with my shotgun hand cannon. Hold W and hold M1 and I'll win. Oh, hey, I held M1 and won. Like, that's just so crazy. I'm genuinely, I'm not even putting any effort in when I'm using this tank cannon. That is... Start looking in the general direction. Just flick in the enemy's general direction if I get hit. So I'm at least using the hand cannon. Where I can hit shots. But... yeah, this thing turns into a two-head, one body because of the Threadlings. Yeah, okay. Honestly, fair enough. I'm pretty sure more Monte Carlo just does it anyway. But yeah, it's just, there's not really much to commentate on this round, I think, because I can talk through my plays, but most of my plays are going to be running the enemy. I'm going to throw my flux at the ground though, because they'll at least damage the enemies if it's on the ground, and it will make them move, because otherwise they get flux grenaded. And there you go. So this time I want the linear back on again. So this is going to be easy kill as long as I find someone. Nope. They're the least capable of playing the game. I don't think this lobby's very happy with me. They're so close to the wall. Yeah, their entire team went after me. I was not winning that. So what I did wrong then was I think I just hesitated. I was like... no, I basically hesitated. I didn't hesitate. I had a reason to be there. I just assumed like 7 radar pings, but... I basically stood still too long. They stood still too long, they got space, they just collapsed on me. That's basically what happened then. Basically, don't stand still for too long, and you'll live. That's all you really need to gain out of that one. You know, you're better making a decision than not making a decision and dying because you didn't make a decision. And Red Gun was an example in why of heavy linear fusion rifles, the bust ones, are silly. They are just silly. But that I can just, again, flick in the general direction of someone and then kind of get a kill because it's aiming head high is... like, dude. Yeah, if you ever wondered why you don't see many YouTubers run around using hard meta all the time, this would be why, because it makes the game really easy, and suddenly there's not really much to talk about other than anything other than the game. By the way, these could kill supers with our Vorpal weapon like fairly easily. So what I did then was, by the way, is shoot the enemy. Because if he has a fucking sniper rifle aimed at me from that distance, I'm like guaranteed dead if he has any aim. So my goal then was shoot the enemy no matter what cost. Even though I probably wouldn't have gotten the kill, I wouldn't have done damage. And I had no ammo. It is better in all cases not to get hit by the sniper, and I can dodge snipers very easily. That's what I mentioned again, just be unpredictable with your movement, but... So he's fluxed, so he was dead, I'm pretty sure, no matter what. But yeah, so that was a fairly low effort game. I bet you it was a 3.5 KD. A 4.8 KD. And I promise you, I was not trying. You saw me literally running at them, and they fell over. And I will admit, that wasn't a very, great lobby. I think this guy was probably the best player, but... So... If we got a good lobby of good players, then definitely a different story. You're not just gonna get it for free, but like, this is so easy to use, it may as well just be the only thing I use, because, like, I wasn't even trying. What's this look like? This looks like basically the same lobby, so I'll end the recording though.